Hello, everyone. For those of you that I haven't met, I'm Mrs. Tita. Our other TD teacher at Waddell is Ms. Hoy. I've been wanting to try a virtual DEP meeting for a while, and thanks to the hurricane closings, it seemed like a good time to pilot it. We're hoping to provide greater access and eliminate an extra trip to school for you. We still enjoy meeting you face to face, and we're available for conferences anytime you reach out to schedule one. Just a quick look at our agenda. This meeting will address how we are meeting the needs of your gifted learner at Waddell this year, as that changes from school to school, and we want to make sure you know what we're doing at Waddell. I'll be talking about our service delivery, the curriculum we use, homework policies, communication, growth mindset versus fixed mindset, and how to reach out with questions. Ms. Hoy and I have two parts to our job as TD teachers. We provide direct and indirect services. Indirect services account for about 40% of our time. Indirect services include testing and identification, which occurs mostly in second grade, although we also test and identify in third through fifth grades. In addition to testing and identification, we also provide materials and strategies to classroom teachers and go into classrooms to model how to use those strategies and materials. The remainder of our time is spent on direct services. This is time when we work directly with the talent development students. Math services vary by grade level and class. Students receive approximately 50 minutes per week of either push-in or pull-out instruction. I pull third graders out for math weekly. Ms. Hoy pushes into fourth grade classes for math instruction. And in fifth grade, Ms. Hoy either pushes into the classroom or pulls students out for instruction, depending on teacher preference. English classes meet once a day for 1 hour. All TD students are grouped with TD peers for English each day. It's not unusual for students to be going to different classes during English class from their home rooms, so your student will not feel left out or singled out because they're going to a different class. Everyone in their class is moving at the same time. In third grade, students are either with Frau Schott or me. She focuses on nonfiction standards and I focus on literature standards. We have two full classes of students. They spend half the quarter with me and half the quarter with her. Halfway through the quarter, we switch groups. If you have questions, you can email either of us and we'll make sure it gets to the right person. In fourth grade, Ms. Hoy, Meow Lauscher, and I run 3 groups, and we trade groups each quarter. Meow Lauscher teaches all of the nonfiction standards during when your student was with her for the quarter. Ms. Hoy and I both teach literature standards, and we're facilitating 2 different novel studies. So by the end of third quarter, students will have rotated through each of the 3 teachers. In addition to the higher level work that's taking place in each group, we review general standards each day through a 10-minute spiral review. Fifth grade is similar to fourth grade. We have a daily spiral review that takes about 10 minutes of class time. For 3 weeks of the quarter, we are all together working on nonfiction strategies. The other 6 weeks of the quarter, students are in novel study groups with either Ms. Hoy, Frau Smith, or me. We also rotate each quarter so that each student sees each teacher by the end of third quarter. We use several strategies to meet the needs of our gifted learners in our English classes. In fourth and fifth grades, we use novel studies throughout the year. Third grade will complete at least 1 novel study this year. Within our novel studies, we do literature circles and seminar discussion techniques. During nonfiction sessions, students are using research and presentation skills. In third grade, we often use centers to meet the needs of our diverse group of learners. Students work in cooperative groups and collaborate daily in all of our classes, unless we're taking an assessment or writing. In fifth grade, we have a student-led career fair. This activity really takes all of the skills they've been learning since third grade and allows them to showcase those skills in one culminating project. They will present their information to all kindergarten through fifth grade students in the school. It is always a little bittersweet for me, as it is the final project with students I've worked for 4 years. We do not get to work on writing as much as we would in a typical school with a 2-hour English language arts block. We do, however, try to take at least 2 pieces through the entire writing process each year. Short answer and informal writing happen daily. Students are encouraged to read every day. No reading log is necessary. For me, I just want to encourage students to keep looking until they find that book that they can't put down. If your student hasn't found that book yet, please encourage them to keep trying. It's there, and let them read what's interesting to them. I'll make them read the stuff that they don't necessarily want to read in class. At home, I just want them to have a book and be reading. We provide ample class time for a typical learner to complete assignments in class. Having said that, some students will need to take classwork home to complete it from time to time. It may be that they aren't using class time wisely, or some students just read and process slowly. Some children are perfectionists and their work takes time. For whatever the reason, if a student struggles to complete classwork during class time, it does need to be completed at home. Novels are issued to students for use throughout a novel study, and they are welcome to bring those home. In 4th and 5th grades, most novel study work is completed in Google Classroom, and that can also be accessed at home. Most of all, as far as homework, I prefer that they just get to be a kid when they get home from school. Please encourage creativity and free playtime. I always like to warn you that English teachers conduct reading 3D testing 3 times a year. Each round requires a testing blitz involving all English teachers for at least 2 full weeks of full days. English instruction continues during that time, but English teachers are not present. In math, we work in cooperative groups to solve application problems. Most of our math materials are hands-on and require critical thinking. We try to extend what is being taught in class as much as possible. Growth mindset versus fixed mindset. We spend a lot of time in class working with your students on keeping a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. It's very important to us that they learn that failure is important, that it's important feedback, and it's important for growth, and that they learn how to fail. We also want to make sure they learn how to fail while we're there to cushion them. So we look at if a grade that wasn't quite what they wanted it to be, not as a failure, but let's look at it and see what we can do differently to improve next time. In class, we encourage students to step out of their comfort zone, and that looks different for everybody. We also encourage students to support their classmates as they step out of their comfort zone, and we work hard to make this an environment where everybody feels comfortable stepping out of their comfort zone and taking those chances and those risks so that they can truly grow. I do ask that when you talk to your student about school and grades, that you focus more on a growth mindset rather than grades and making all A's. We really want them to take those chances, and we really want them to learn from those mistakes. Communication. Now that we have Parent Square, I will be communicating via Parent Square rather than making email lists. So please look for any communication that needs to go to the whole group to come through Parent Square. If I need to communicate with you individually about just your student, I will either email you or call you with that concern. Students do have class folders. They will keep work that we're working on in class in their class folder. When they're finished with that work, it will come home in their red communication folder. If at any time you want to see what your child is working on in class, you can ask them to bring their folder or binder home so that you can review that work. Just please make sure it comes back to school the next day, as we need it in class daily. We do upgrade upgrade PowerSchool. We try to do it in a timely manner. We try to keep grades updated weekly. So please check PowerSchool if you're concerned about grades. Graded work is sent home in red communication folders if it is paper work. So 3rd grade, mostly your graded work will come home in red communication folders. For 4th and 5th grade, a lot of their work is done in Google Classroom. And your student can access Google Classroom from home, and you are welcome to review their work in Google Classroom at home. If at any time you would like an individual conference to discuss a concern, or if you have questions, please reach out to us. We are happy to schedule those at any time. We also have a Facebook group, a closed Facebook group just for our talent development parents. It is Waddell Language Academy Talent Development, and we welcome you to join that group so that you can get information there too. That's also a good place for parents to ask questions of each other as you are all raising gifted students who have those same needs. If you have feedback, you can email Ms.